Where does water come from?
The path of water is cyclical. Water falls from the sky and eventually finds its way to our rivers and streams. Then, as sure as the sun rises, water returns to the sky and falls back down again. Caring for our rivers and watersheds assures us of a constant supply of water. This cycle assures us of rain that collects in our watersheds, flows to our rivers, and fills up our dams. This is the Angat Reservoir. It is where Metro Manila gets 97% of its water. The Angat Reservoir is a testament to the power and majesty of nature. It mesmerizes. It captivates. It leaves you breathless. The Angat Dam in Norsagaray, Bulacan is a multi-purpose dam built for domestic water consumption, irrigation, and power generation. From here, raw water is diverted by Ipo Dam to an interconnection of tunnels and aqueducts underground that all lead to La Mesa Dam. This is La Mesa Dam, a reservoir that can hold up to 50.5 million cubic meters of water.
La Mesa Dam acts as a primary settling basin.
Heavier particles already settle at the bottom of the reservoir. From La Mesa Dam, water flows through another set of aqueducts into water treatment plants. What are water treatment plants? Let's find out. East La Mesa is one example of a water treatment plant. It is the largest water system built by Manila Water and has the capacity to produce 150 million liters of potable water per day. Water treatment happens in this facility. The process of water treatment makes water safe for you to use and drink. What happens to the raw water from the dams? The first step in the water treatment process is called coagulation. You can see an exposed pipe with liquid that is being added to the raw water. What is being added is aluminum sulfate, better known as alum or tawas. Although chlorination deactivates some microorganisms and bacteria, there are still suspended and scattered particles called colloids that make the water hazy or turbid. Like similarly charged magnets, these tiny colloids naturally repel and bounce off each other. The alum or tawas neutralizes these colloids so they stick together. This is called coagulation.
To help with coagulation, giant mixers below the water allow the alum to be thoroughly mixed.
The second step looks almost identical to the first step, except instead of alum, a substance called polymer is added. Down below, floating pinhead flocks begin to stick together as they encounter polymer. Imagine polymer as Velcro. Particles that encounter polymer stick to it. The more particles it attracts, the bigger the mass becomes. As the particles increase in size, they become denser and sink. The particles that merge together are called flocks, and the process is called flocculation. Let's move on to the next step, which is called sedimentation. Water then flows below sedimentation basins and upwards through tube settlers. As water travels upward, encountering resistance from the diagonally mounted tube settlers, remaining flocks are trapped and once again sink. Clear water rises to the top, and the end result is called clarified water. Let's move on to step 4, which is filtration. There's a whole building here at East La Mesa just for filtration. Clarified water then flows through filter beds. Believe it or not, there are still tiny suspended leftover particles and harmful bacteria. At the East La Mesa water treatment plant, filter beds are composed of a single layer of silica sand, which is effective at filtering out the remaining tiny particles in the water. The final step is called chlorination. Here, chlorine is added before water is pumped out for distribution to ensure adequate disinfection. These machines regulate chlorine. Take a close look at the yellow-green substance. That's chlorine in gas form. This is a precautionary step, and residual chlorine guarantees the potability of water that reaches you. How does water get to your tap? Large primary lines from treatment plants run above ground, underground, and through creeks to bring water to reservoirs or storage tanks, just with the aid of gravity. However, in higher areas, water needs to be pumped to reservoirs and storage tanks. Reservoirs or storage tanks is where water is stored before reaching you. This holding tank in En Domingo can hold water for 44 Olympic-sized swimming pools. From these storage tanks, treated water then goes through a network of pipes beneath the city. Water exits the network through a service pipe that leads to a water meter before entering homes, schools, and businesses.